Hello students, I am Raghavan Kumar Singh, faculty of US Academy and Institute. Today we will discuss class 6 history's second chapter, from hunting gathering to growing foods. This chapter deals with the earliest peoples who moved from place to place in the search of food in detail, such as how we come to know about these peoples, how they started farming and herding, etc. How people's journey started from birth till death in different places. We also describe peoples who lived in the subcontinent 2 million years ago as hunter-gatherers. This name has been provided because they hunted wild animals, caught fishes and birds, gathered fruits, roots, nuts, seeds, leaves, stalks, and eggs from their food. Now, the hunter-gatherers move from place to place. Why do they move? Where do they move? If they had stayed at one place, for a long period of time, they would have been eaten up all the available plants and animals as a resource. Peoples move from place to place, and animals are also able to move from place to place. So these peoples had to follow these movement of animals for hunting purposes. Peoples may have moved from season to season in search of different kinds of plants. People live on their banks would have had to go in search of water during the dry season from their places. How do we know about these peoples? Some important terms and things were founded by the archaeologists, who have found some of the things hunter-gatherers made and used. They made and used tools of stone, wood and bone, of which stone tools were survived best, because stone tools were used to cut meat and bone, scrap bark from the trees and hides from the skin of the animals, chop fruit and roots, whereas other tools were also used to chop wood. Choosing a place to live in, people preferred to live in places having the following availability. They lived near the source of water, such as river, lakes, oceans, and many other places where the water availability is there. People tried to find places where good quality of stones were easily available, so that they may hunt animals. They may cut or scrap the barks of the trees and hide the skin of animals. People tried to find this availability of stones, which was easily available for hunting. Now, finding about the fire. Finding out about the fire, traces of ash shows that the peoples at that time have invented the fire. It could have been used for many things, as a source of light, to roast flesh or meat, to scare animals which were harmful for them. Now about the changing environment. As we know, the environment were changing continuously from day to day, year up to year. Around 12,000 years ago, there were major changes in the climatic condition of the world, which led to the development of grasslands in many areas. This also led to an increase in the number of animals that survived on the grass. So, people started thinking about herding and rearing of these animals. Fishing also became important for peoples. Now, at the beginning of farming and herding. With the development of grasslands, peoples came to know about growing different types of crops and vegetables such as wheat, barley, rice in different parts of the continent. This is how they started practicing farming. Peoples also attract and then tame by leaving foods for them near their centers. The first animal to be tamed was the wild ancestor of the dog. Animals such as sheep, goat, cattle, and also the pig lived in herds, and most of them ate grass. Often, peoples protected these animals from attack by other wild animals. This is how they become herders. Now about the new life, how they obtained. Peoples had to stay in the same place for a long period of time, looking after their cropping plants, watering them, weeding, driving away animals and birds, till the grains ripened. Then they started thinking of storing the grains for food and seeds. They began making large clay pots or wove basket or dug pit into the ground. Now about the storing animals. Animals that are reared can be used as a store of food such as milk, flesh of meat, eggs, and many other things. They are able to store in the form of rearing animals. Now about the settled life. Archaeologists have found traces of huts or houses at some sites, which shows that peoples have a stable life. They have also found cooking herds both inside and outside the huts, which suggests that depending on the weather, people used to cook food either indoor or outdoors. Stone tools have been found from many sites. Many of these were different from the earlier Paleolithic tools, and that's why they are called as Neolithic. These include tools that were polished to give a fine cutting edges, and mortars and pistons. Mortar and pistons were used for grinding grains even today. Apart from these tools, some of the tools were also made of bones. Many kinds of earthen pots have also been found. These were used for decoration and for storing things. Peoples also began weaving of clothes using different kinds of materials such as cotton, wool, etc. Now about the closer look living and dying in Mehergarh. Mehergarh is a place which is situated at Bolan Pass, which is currently in Balochistan, on the way to Iran. Previously, archaeological sites found draft of wild animals, counter deer, and pig. And digging of sheep and goats were also seen, so that we get idea that peoples were herders. So Mehergarh peoples were considered as hunters and later on as herders previously. It is one of the earliest village. People grew wheat and barley as a crop and rear sheep and goats at that time and live at a particular place with a similar types of houses shaped square and rectangular. According to their burial ground, people believe in life after death, in which when people die, their relatives and friends pay respect to them. That persons were buried with goats which were probably meant to serve as food in the next world. Several burial sites have been found at Mehergarh.